It was early one morning when a young woman arrived at Baker Street, pale and trembling. "My name is Helen Stoner," she said. "Mr. Holmes, I am in terrible danger. Please help me." Sherlock Holmes motioned her to sit down. "Calm yourself, Miss Stoner." "Tell us everything," she began her story. "I live with my stepfather, Dr. Grimesby Roylott, in an old country house in Surrey. 2 years ago, my twin sister Julia died mysteriously, just before her wedding. The night she died, she told me she had heard a strange, low whistle in the night. Moments later, she screamed, and before I reached her, she collapsed and died. Her last words were, 'It was the band, the speckled band,' but we never discovered what she meant." Holmes leaned forward. "Did she show any signs of violence?" "None," Helen replied. "No marks, no poison could be found." She continued, "Now, Mr. Holmes, I am to be married. I have moved into Julia's old room, and last night I too heard that same low whistle. I am terrified I will share her fate." Holmes nodded slowly. "You were wise to come to me, Miss Stoner. Tell me more about your stepfather." She said, "Dr. Roylott is a violent man. He once lived in India and keeps exotic pets, a cheetah and a baboon, that roam the grounds. He has a terrible temper, and I fear him." Holmes rose from his chair. "Watson, we must go to Stoke Moran immediately." That afternoon, they arrived at the crumbling old house. Dr. Roylott was away, leaving them free to inspect Helen's room. Holmes examined everything carefully. "The bed is fixed to the floor. The bell rope beside it doesn't ring a bell. And look, Watson, a small ventilator that opens into the next room, not to the outside." Watson frowned. "What can that mean?" Holmes's eyes gleamed. "It means that the murderer had access through this ventilator, and on the other side of it is Dr. Roylott's room." That night, when Helen safely stayed elsewhere, Holmes and Watson hid in the darkened bedroom. They waited in silence. Hours passed. Then suddenly a faint light shone through the ventilator, and a soft hiss broke the stillness. Holmes leapt to his feet and struck fiercely at the bell rope with his cane. There was a sharp hiss, followed by a dreadful scream from the next room. When they rushed in, they found Dr. Roylott seated dead in his chair. Coiled around his neck was a small, speckled snake. Holmes said quietly, "The speckled band. The deadliest snake in India, the swamp adder. Roylott used it to murder his stepdaughters, sending it through the ventilator along the fake bell rope to bite them in their sleep. Tonight, it turned on him instead." Watson looked at the dead man in horror. "A fitting end to such cruelty," Holmes replied. "Indeed, Watson. Violence does, in truth, recoil upon the violent, and the schemer falls into the pit he digs for others." And so ended the strange case of the speckled band, one of Sherlock Holmes's most chilling adventures.